Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico has taken a firm stance against providing any form of military financial support to Ukraine, declaring that his government will limit its assistance to humanitarian aid only. Speaking to reporters in Brussels following a European Council meeting, Fico expressed deep reservations about proposals to use frozen Russian central bank assets to fund Ukraine's defense industry or military procurement. He warned that such actions could trigger unpredictable legal consequences, destabilize global financial markets, and expose European nations to retaliatory measures from Moscow. Fico emphasized that Slovakia would not contribute national budget funds toward Ukraine's war efforts, nor sign any joint financial guarantees that could indirectly support military operations. His position reflects a broader trend of wariness among certain Central and Eastern European governments, which, despite sharing a border with Ukraine, are increasingly concerned about the economic and security implications of prolonged military engagement. Fico's remarks have intensified debates within the European Union, where unity on Ukraine policy is fraying under the weight of divergent national interests, economic pressure, and public opinion. While Western European capitals continue to advocate for robust supports, leaders like Fico argued that the bloc must prioritize de-escalation and explore diplomatic off-ramps before the conflict spirals further out of control. Hungary has emerged as the most vocal dissenter within the EU, with Prime Minister Viktor Orbán openly defying new US and European sanctions targeting Russia's oil sector. Orbán confirmed that his government is actively working to circumvent these measures to secure continued access to discounted Russian energy supplies, which he claims are vital for Hungary's economic stability. This admission has drawn sharp criticism from Brussels and allied capitals, where officials view Hungary's actions as undermining the collective sanctions regime. Orbán's defiance reached a new level when he revealed during the European Council meeting that he had received a personal letter from Russian President Vladimir Putin, in which the Kremlin leader warned of severe retaliation if Western nations proceed with plans to confiscate or loan against the approximately 200 billion euro in frozen Russian assets. Orbán cited this warning as justification for his opposition to a proposed 162 billion euro financial assistance package for Ukraine, which ultimately failed to gain unanimous approval due to resistance from Hungary and Belgium. Orbán further declared that he would veto any future step toward Ukraine's accession to the European Union, arguing that membership would legally obligate all member states to defend Ukraine militarily, thereby dragging the entire bloc into an active war with Russia. He also insisted that Kyiv must restore cultural and linguistic right for the ethnic Hungarian minority in Ukraine's Transcarpathia region as a precondition for any deeper integration. Orbán's stance has galvanized both support and backlash within Hungary itself. On October 23rd, tens of thousands of citizens took to the streets of Budapest to mark the anniversary of the 1956 anti-Soviet uprising, but the commemorations quickly evolved into competing political rallies. Orbán led what he called a peace march, where supporters carried banners reading "We don't want to die for Ukraine" and chanted slogans calling for an immediate end to military aid. Addressing a crowd at Parliament Square, Orbán accused the European Commission and NATO allies of sabotaging US President Donald Trump's diplomatic efforts to broker a ceasefire, claiming that Brussels has chosen war over peace. In stark contrast, opposition leader Péter of the Tisza party organized a rival demonstration demanding stronger support for Ukraine and condemning Orbán's perceived alignment with Moscow. Magyar's supporter accused the prime minister of betraying European values and enabling Russian aggression through his obstructionist policies. The dueling rallies highlight the deep polarization within Hungarian society, with the war in Ukraine serving as a flashpoint for broader debates about national identity, sovereignty, and foreign policy orientation. Orbán had previously pinned hopes on a planned summit in Budapest between Trump and Putin, which he believed could position Hungary as a neutral mediator. However, Trump abruptly canceled the meeting, citing insufficient diplomatic progress and poor timing, dealing a blow to Orban's strategy of positioning himself as a bridge between East and West. Meanwhile, the collapse of the 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the Iran nuclear deal, has opened a new front of instability in global security. With the agreement's core restrictions now expired, Iran has formally lifted all self-imposed limits on its uranium enrichment activities and ballistic missiles development. Iranian state media confirmed the successful test firing of a new intercontinental ballistic missile (ICBM), capable of reaching parts of Europe and potentially the eastern United States, though independent verification of its range and accuracy remain pending. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei declared that Iran would no longer engage in negotiations over its missiles program, labeling such demands as illegitimate interference in sovereign affairs. In response, U.S. President Donald Trump claimed that previous American strikes had significantly degraded Iran's nuclear infrastructure, though no recent military actions has been publicly confirmed by the Pentagon. The breakdown of the JCPOA framework removes a key pillar of non-proliferation diplomacy and raised the specter of a regional arms race, particularly among Gulf states. With Russia and China maintaining close strategic ties to Tehran and the United States adopting a more confrontational posture under the Trump administration, the prospect for renewed dialogue appeared dim as Iran accelerates its weapon development and rejects external oversight. The international community faces a growing challenges in containing nuclear proliferation and preventing miscalculation in an already volatile geopolitical landscape. If you have made it this far, congratulations, you have unlocked the truth. I want to ask you a quick question though. Considering the clear divisions within the EU, exemplified by Slovakia's refusal of military aid and Hungary's defiance of sanctions and explicit warning from Putin regarding frozen assets, do you believe these internal disagreements and nationalist sentiments will ultimately lead to the collapse of a unified European front against Russia, thereby reshaping the geopolitical landscape and allowing individual nations to pursue their own interests irrespective of broader EU policies? And why? Join the debate. We want to hear your insightful opinion on where this is all heading in our community. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.